What's up you guys, Kasey here, and today we're going to be doing a little quickfire review for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. In terms of the narrative, this is a prequel slash alternate timeline to the events of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Through this, you're seeing the events of the war that takes place between Calamity Ganon and the Kingdom of Hyrule. The champions from Breath of the Wild, as well as Link, Zelda, and even more characters are all available to play as, which I think is the biggest service that this game does. Throughout the story, there is a narrative device planted there from the very beginning. It's a little egg, and he is a guardian of such that is in charge of seeing these events play through. Without spoiling too much, I'll leave it at that for the story. But let's talk about gameplay. Hyrule Warriors is a 1v1000 type of gameplay in terms of it having huge numbers of NPCs on screen and enemy AI for the player to just hack and slash. This is a hack and slash type of game. Not my cup of tea per se, but I think in terms of the scale of the war that took place in the world of Breath of the Wild, this type of genre for games does the war a big service. It adds to the scale of it. If you did a traditional Zelda game, you wouldn't really get that scale of warfare. Through the gameplay, everyone plays pretty differently. Link's the most well-rounded character. There's other characters that have a lot more mobility and movement to them, a lot more characters that have more weight and heft to them. But I mainly played as Link mostly. The leveling system isn't really too much, but my main point for this game is about 2/3 in, I didn't have a single difficulty in terms of its difficulty level playing this game. It was pretty easy, pretty brisk walk to play through. The last third of the game actually does increase in difficulty, which I appreciated very much. It made me think more thoroughly and strategically about where I was placing my team and where they were going. Your team is not really a team until the last third of the game. What the game does is it gives you 2 spots to have other characters with you when you're playing. You can rotate between Link, Zelda, and Daruk, for example. When you rotate between them, you can place them in different spots of the map and then just switch so you don't have to easily traverse the map all over again. Everyone's in their own designated spots. However, you are able to move in extremely quickly, so this isn't too much of a pain to really do. And when you put everyone in their own spots, they rarely accomplish tasks without you being the one doing it. So it's mainly just to have you put them there at your convenience. There's really not much for me to say about the gameplay. If you like hack and slash games and if you like Zelda, then you'll like it. If you're not a fan of hack and slash games but you do like Zelda, you might like it. And if you don't like Zelda but you do like hack and slash games, I don't think you're gonna like this. But yeah, it's a pretty good hack and slash game. Not much to it. It's a mindless hitting, slashing. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about that. The Breath of the Wild coat of paint that is on it, though, plays its way into the gameplay in a few aspects. So you have the blue bomb, the magnets, whatever they're called, like the different items that you use when you go to the towers in Breath of the Wild. Those are all used across all of the characters, but they all have their own way of using them. And those are really cool to see everyone play out and use them. Some are more effective against different mini bosses than others. And when you're playing through each character, you're going to see that they have their own ultimate moves, like ultimate finishers, and those are extremely effective and very entertaining to see. But yeah, I mean, for the gameplay, it is what it is. If you played the previous Hyrule Warriors, then you know what this game is going to be in terms of its gameplay. If you haven't, then I would do a little bit of research in terms of if this is the type of genre you want to play. But let's get into the story of things, mainly its presentation, because this is the most well-done Zelda story I've seen in terms of how it's presented. The cutscenes are very cinematic. They have that cel-shaded look that is exactly what Breath of the Wild is, but they're fully animated, fully voice acted, and it adds a level of lore and depth to the events of Breath of the Wild when you come play it. I won't say it fleshes out the characters because there's a sense of staleness to a lot of the characters and their motives in Breath of the Wild that are not really amended here. But what the game does is, if you like aspects of characters and stories in Breath of the Wild, then this game just enhances it a little bit. Overall replayability for me, though, the side activities are just, hack and slash things again. Sometimes you get a few items. You can upgrade your blacksmith and training camp so you can level up weapons and characters, which doesn't have too much depth to it. Yeah, I'd say I think this is a good weekend game to play if you've got the whole weekend opened up to you. But then again, it took me about 20 hours to beat, so take a little longer than that. But yeah, overall score, this game's a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. I don't think it's anything special. I don't have much to say about it. But yeah, 1v1000. If that's your game genre, then yeah, you'll have fun with this for a little bit of time. If you guys have disagreements or your own statements to make, then go ahead and comment down below. And thank you for watching.